Good morning, one sober to another. Today's daily reflection, emotional balance, September 5th, 2020. Let's start your day off right. Welcome back. Good to see all your sober faces this morning, friends. If you're not sober, this is an amazing place to start your journey. So if you haven't subscribed, take a moment to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any daily reflections, as well as my Saturday videos that keep you rolling, and sometimes the intermittent ones that just keep you thinking about things that you never thought about before. One sober to another, let's get this started. Emotional balance. Make direct amends to such people wherever possible. 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 83. When I survey my drinking days, I recall many people whom my life touched casually, but whose days I troubled through my anger and sarcasm. These people are untraceable, and direct amends to them are not possible. The only amends I can make to those untraceable individuals, the only changes for the better I can offer, are indirect amends made to other people whose paths briefly cross mine. Courtesy and kindness, regularly practiced, help me to live emotional balance and at peace with myself. That's pretty simple for this morning, right? So, all up close to the camera. There's a lot of folks who my life touched in so many different ways through my drinking history that at times it was so hard to guess how many. And to look back, you know, the list goes on and on and on. And I've made amends to most of the people that I can directly. And there are quite a few who I know that I was an a-hole to, or, you know, I said something under my breath, or I may have just made them feel bad about themselves for no reason at all, other than the fact that I was irritated, maybe that I wasn't drinking, or that it was almost time for me to drink and they were holding me up, or I had to be somewhere and they were in my way. Believe it or not, as a practicing alcoholic, I had found many ways to navigate situations to suit my needs, to where I was getting very good at scheduling my time to drink in between my career. But if something impeded my schedule, or it dominated my time where I wasn't able to drink when I had already planned out through my morning, sometimes the day before, you know, they were going to hear a little something that made them feel bad about themselves just so I can be on my way. You know, think about it. The cashier that's taking too long to count change, you know, if you're an alcoholic like me, if somebody is fumbling through just something as simple as counting change, you know, I had a tendency to be like, did you graduate school? You haven't learned how to subtract and add yet? You can't get my change together quick enough? And then I would move on. I wouldn't even think about it. And shit, for me, I'm pretty sure that those folks may have left that conversation feeling like, you know, wow, what did I do? Am I not that smart? And examples like that go on and on and on and on, you know, about the small trails of, you know, belittlement and derogatory remarks that weren't necessary, but they definitely probably left some people feeling bad about themselves. So the fact is, for emotional balance, I don't know who they are. You know, you probably don't know 95% of the people that you come across during the day. You affect them on some level, one way or another. As an alcoholic, I tended to affect people in a negative manner. You know, I didn't go out of my way to make people feel bad about themselves, but I'm pretty certain I did. because I can be quite sarcastic. I mean, that's certain. In fact, in a video, Holding On to Resentments, I talked about a woman that I had some interactions with where I was just flat out mean to her all the time because, I felt like something was happening with me, that they were looking at me and judging me. And so I would just lash out at any moment I could. I would say things like, wow, look who rolled in. And it'd be like 15 minutes past their time to clock in. Little did I know, they already clocked in the back, and they already talked to like 3 people on their way here about things that had to happen through the day. That didn't matter to me. I was going to throw little tidbits out every moment I got. The fact that I worked with this woman is the only opportunity that presented itself for me to make a direct amends. But if I wasn't going to see her again, and I saw her maybe 2-3 times, and then that was the end of our casual relationship, professional, then, maybe I wouldn't have gotten the opportunity to say, I'm sorry, or I was an idiot, or, even people who need just help, looking for something that's directly in their face. For instance, a box of plugs, because that always seems to be the miss. If you can't see the box of plugs that is right in front of you, you're a freaking idiot. So sometimes I would just roll my eyes when people would ask me, hey, do you know where the plugs are? And I'd be like, oh my God. Right there, smart guy. When I could just practice a little bit of kindness and a little bit of courtesy and say, hey, you know what? Let me walk you over here so that you're able to find them next time. And that will keep me on an emotional balance, and it won't affect them in a negative way. And we can all go about our day and be a little bit happier. And that's really what this Daily Reflections is about, is practicing that small bits of kindness and courtesy to other people. Even if you don't know them, even if you're never going to see them again, to keep yourself in check and to keep your serenity intact, and not at the sacrifice of someone else's serenity, because, we all have a day to do. We all have 24 hours to get through, and we can make it a little bit easier for all of us if we just practice a little kindness. You can span that all the way to what's going on in the United States with the law enforcement community and the Black community and everything else. And by the way, my heart goes out to all those families with people suffering from the effects of the racism in the United States, as well as the, blatant use of force against people where it's not necessary by the law enforcement community. And it doesn't count for everybody, but it definitely counts for certain folks. And imagine if we just practice a little courtesy and kindness to everybody that we come across. Perhaps that wouldn't be necessary. Food for thought, just like I always say. And one sober to another, we got to just respect each other and keep our emotional balance in check. That has been today's and this morning's daily reflection. And I'm going to see you tomorrow when we talk about September 6th, 2020. But for now, get through this 24 hours without a drink. Thank God or your higher power that you're sober, and get through the next. If you've gotten value out of this video, hit that like button below, and I'll see you in the next.